I don't RP. I don't really care about player housing. You see, player housing can solve one of World of Warcraft's biggest goddamn problems. How the f*** can they reward any of you with? You're like, yes,
no,
my 1,500th mount. I'm so excited.
No, I appreciate that, but I think I'm going to temper that a little bit, and I don't think this is a universal solution. I think this is a solution for a lot of players who aren't watching this stream. A lot of you who are. I think this is for the people who delves are too complicated or delves are too stressful. Player housing is an immense amount of customization for those. If you look at, I'm going to compare it directly to the FF14 side of things, where that drives for a huge amount of the player base.
The perverts.
All across it. Exactly. So now you've got player housing. You can have a picture of Xal'atath's feet in your own house in World of Warcraft, obviously.
Let's hope the feds don't work out how to like more fully infiltrate FF14 housing than they already have.
Yeah. So I think
no, I actually think player housing's going to be a bit more relevant for more people.
Yeah, more than just
that.
More than just that. I think it's a little bit more the focus. I kind of misspoke by.
You could have a problem where
fucking billionaire dooming already. Just announced the features like it's going to be so shit. No one's going to like it. It's awful.
The way that you framed that, is just making me think that there'll be like, you'll get a diamond. You will get the head. You will get Xal'atath's head, but iced out like a rapper watch.
Oh, of course,
for your mantelpiece if you defeat it on mythic difficulty. And all the people who can't do that will scream. So that I'm sort of expecting. But, okay, at least for like the mid-core player type, which I think I am.
Yeah.
That is potentially very huge. There's probably there's a few aspects of gameplay we'll have to think about. Like, where are our player houses? Actually, we should... No, that was a fully internally shot bit.
This feature is not ready for them to show, or they would have showed something.
Oh yeah, like that was a full just pre-rendered whip things up with assets. But thinking about... So looking at this...
I'll just kind of loop it here while we get...
They are sort of saying that you can place things in different areas. Like, look at how the camera moves.
I understand what you're saying, but they're saying fucking nothing.
They are saying nothing.
They're suggesting things.
Yeah, looking at this, I see probably attachment points in rotation for how you're placing those items.
Yeah.
You're probably having small, medium, large... sizes.
All genre staples of things, yes.
Yeah, you can see how you would like modularly build that out.
So theoretically, yes.
One of the problems that WoW's got for the longest time is there's only so much shit you can collect. Think about all the toys in the game right now. Yeah, boring. So this is a whole other vector for that. Where it would get interesting to me though is can you make training dummies in your house? Could you, what sorts of things could you put there? There's obviously a little bit of concern about taking shit out of the world. But I think player housing, you got to strike a balance, but I think going pretty hard into player housing is a good shout. I'm thinking about how professions could be tied in. That could open up a whole bunch more gameplay. One of the issues you've got with professions is the economy just rapidly explodes and there's only a few things that are profitable and then only just profitable, right? So this could open up a whole other thing for professions, for collectibles, for world content. Could be quite the game changer. Also, thinking about the warbands feature, ways you can integrate that. Yeah. So I can actually see this being pretty huge. The final thing. It's also a actual box feature. So, the sorts of features that actually cause a broader audience to sort of perk up and listen? Because usually, it's been the meme, 8 dungeons in a raid? Wow, with 4 zones! I can't believe it! That's obviously extremely reductive, and it's not how I think about the game, but it is how, fucking Johnny Nodek in the PC Gamer forum section, whoever he is.
Right, okay.
You know when you go to a normie website like PC Gamer and you see the comment section and it's all just absolutely unhinged shit. The stuff that will get those people into our community. Hang on, that's a bad idea. But you know what I mean? Stuff that can achieve cut through where hearing about delves to a lot of people, it's, oh, it's a gameplay system. Oh, a delve. Oh, I've seen that in Destiny. Oh, blah, blah, blah. I don't... Blah, blah, blah. But player housing is like, oh, this is a new feature. Thinking about how garrisons got a lot of cut through. Obviously, garrisons ended up backfiring. I think it's... Looking at how they have framed this, it is the polar opposite of garrisons. It looks the polar opposite of garrisons.
Yeah, I think this is where if we're being really, really, really honest, this is not indicative of what anything's going to look like.
Oh yeah, if we're being honest, we know nothing.
We can figure out like kind of things they're suggesting. Like even if you go through fairly quickly, you can immediately see, okay, well look at that. That's on Nixia's head.
Yeah,
okay,
so
sure.
They've
got a Nixia's head. You go kill a Nixia, you get the head. You can put it in the thing. You've got the achievement.
There's a training dummy.
Yeah, the bulwark of Azzinoth,
Brewfest.
Yeah.
If you look at the roadmap, they said there's a Brewfest update coming.
Yeah.
I mean, that actually might be a current item, but
those
are all like player earnable items or player interactable its
Yeah, except for that scrapper or the shredder. Sorry, that could be. Is that a miniaturized mount? No, that'd be silly. That'd be silly. So, unstoppable cellular meets immovable doomer. That's kind of the roles we're playing at the minute.
Player housing has been one of those things I've wanted for yonks.
Yes, and I'm here intentionally trying to go, okay, well, please remember this is World of Warcraft.
Oh, yeah.
And there are going to be a lot of...
the monkey's paw will curl somehow.
There'll be a lot of limitations that are in engine. However, just like a whole bunch of recent things, they are capable of pushing through that in a bunch of ways. They're capable of making it through those. So I think that there's plenty to be excited about for player housing. Like, it's kind of nuts. There's a billion questions that we literally will not have any answers to until at least they'll talk about it after this, right? We're going to have interviews and things like that with different people, different like outlets, things like that. They'll do their whole press circuit. So we'll find out some details, but likely not that many.
If you want your own ERP brothel, well, there you go.
Theoretically, of course.
Like FF14?
Yeah, because one of the...
Blizzard have opened an entire can of worms.
Yeah, so one of the questions then is this going to be...
AFK 1 minute before we dive into the roadmap.
Okay. Sure.
I've partaken of too many caffeinated beverages.
Okay, I don't think anyone could tell that. I think anyone could tell that from you.
People would have no idea.
Yes, so I guess I will go and prepare the roadmap while we talk about this. But I think, yeah, that's actually a good point you bring up, Brel. I play a Blood Elf. I don't want a spiky or cut. I really hope we don't have generic Alliance Horde homes. See, that's one of the problems, right? It's player housing. It's player housing. As soon as you hear player housing, as soon as you see it, as soon as you see this and you go, oh, well, there's a Nixus head. Oh my God, what could I do? What could I have? Your brain explodes, right? You go, oh, there's so many things. Can I have my, Brow's example, can I have my like Blood Elf house just outside Silverman? Could I have that? Could I have, could I set up in the Barrens? Could I set up as a Tauren in Mulgore? Could I have all those things? Could I have a huge amount of that? Like, is it going to be inspired by FF14 in that you have separate instanced off? Because if you're not aware, it works there. They have separate instanced off player housing areas. So it's basically districts of a bunch of houses and you have ownership to that. So there's however many, a finite. In this case, it won't be finite in WoW. Everyone will have their own house for sure. But in that case, it's like, okay, well, here's the neighborhoods basically and different phases of neighborhoods. You have one of those, you go there, you have neighbors, you have outside, you build all that stuff. Is it going to be like that, or is it going to be closer to garrisons and how garrisons were physically implemented, which is here's the housing area for Alliance, for Horde? Is it going to be more like that? Or is it going to be actually here's a bunch of customization in terms of place, in terms of everything? Because obviously, someone's talked about there being midnight zones. They could be midnight zones, right? They could be midnight zones. There's also the question of if they make this, is this affordable housing? Is this free housing for everyone? Or is this something a little bit closer to FF14's, oh, you need money and you need to, like, they'll make it available, obviously, to everyone, but will you need to throw down 200, K, 300K, 2 mil, 5 mil for different frames of houses? Are they going to tie it into the economy that way? or are they just going to tie it into gameplay in the way that they're going, okay, well, you know, as we have here on screen, you've got Kel Sarar or whatever the other one's called. You've got the Bulwark Vazanoth. You've got Keldalar. You've got whatever this is. You've got candles and stuff that you've stolen from kobolds, so you're evil bastard, etc., etc., etc. Yeah, I wonder, can the old ass WoW engine handle player housing?
Yeah.
Well, old ass engine is a bit of a misnomer because they are rebuilding it as they go, and they have been for a long time. The game is substantially different how it was in Classic, and if you tried to you figure out as soon as you try to run like an old version for like a private server, it's not.
Basically,
it's different.
Unless you're an engineer, game engines literally do not work how you think they do.
Yeah. And even if you are an engineer, they probably don't.
Yeah.
To be honest with you. To be honest.
A game engine is actually many different things. They're all systems that play together, so you keep on upgrading those systems. It's just a case of, how much technical debt do you have? How do you manage forking your engine and all that sort of shit?